Hi, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm from Florida, and it's really cold. So forgive me if I'm shaking. It's really because I'm freezing right now. So I'm going to talk about MEV and RPC. I view MEV as a really exciting, emerging crypto native business model. And it actually goes hand in hand with what we do, which is building a decentralized RPC protocol. So trying to get, there we go. So I just want to talk about what I'm talking about, talk a little bit about myself, a brief overview on Pocket, what we're building, and we'll talk a little bit about MEV and the current state of the world from our perspective, how RPC providers, not just Pocket, fit into the landscape, and why it's also interesting from our perspective. So just a little bit about myself. So this is my online thing. If you see me on Twitter, that's me. I got into Bitcoin in 2013. I was basically a history major for the last 200 years. I learned a lot about that. I learned to code before I graduated, and then after the DAO hack, I started learning about Solidity, writing some smart contracts, and that's really how we came across the idea of Pocket using other centralized RPC providers. And then we launched it about 2 years ago. And just to talk a little bit about Pocket, Pocket is a layer 1 blockchain. And what it does at the end of the day is incentivize people to run full nodes for other blockchains. So you can think of it as like a middleware or a proxy that allows for an application, sign a transaction, sends through our pipes, ends up at a full node, gets back to the pipes, and gets back to the end user. So if you're seeing like wallet balances, latest block height, this sort of thing. RPC is really useful for just-in-time information. Less so for historical information like indexing and this sort of thing. Pocket's been around for a little bit over 2.5 years. We support about 40 blockchains, and we're doing anywhere between 1 billion and 1.5 billion requests a day through the protocol. It's mostly on ETH, Polygon, Gnosis Chain, and a few others, but we do support lots of blockchains and plan to support many more in the future. So what is MEV? First of all, it's known as minor extractable value or maximum extractable value. I think a good comparison is kind of the Web3 version of payment for order flow. So if you use Robinhood, trade for free on Robinhood, they basically send those transactions to a company like Citadel, who then takes an arbitrage on that transaction before the actual trade happens. And this is basically the Web3 native version of that model. And really what minor extractable value is the opportunity for validators, miners, and other network participants to extract value by being able to reorder transactions before it hits the actual blockchain and gets finalized. When you submit a swap on Uniswap, that's going to sit in the Ethereum mempool for up to 10 to 12 seconds. And there's a bunch of people who are crawling the mempool and looking for ways to be able to reorder transactions and extract value. This has historically been seen as a very negative thing. It really does result in a really bad experience for the end user, drop transactions, really high fees, and this sort of thing. But we've seen a ton of great work being done to remove front running, for example. Flashbots is doing a really good job with that. And I think with things like EIP 4337, we're going to remove the back running problem at the end of the day. And that is really, we've seen really what the opportunity for people to extract this value has been really massive. This is just Ethereum, and this is from the Flashbots website. I actually think this is a lower bound of the kind of value that's been extracted, so you can kind of extrapolate. What's really good is that I think that 80% of this value is going to get chopped off, which is really good. I think at the end of the day, it's going to result in a better user experience for people, less drop transactions, this sort of thing. But that other 20% is what I'm really excited about, because I think we have an opportunity to incentivize new users and bring on the next billion users onto Web3 at the end of the day, if we can come up with some of these crypto native business models, right, to bring people on board. I like to compare it to kind of banner ads on Web 1 and then native ads on Web 2, right? No one really thought that you could build such a big business with native ads, and I kind of view it as similar to an emerging business model, crypto that's native to Web3. So there's only been a couple of those so far, Staking, minting, and burning is really what's enabling a lot of really interesting mechanisms, and I think we have the opportunity to do something similar with MEV. So where do RPC providers fit into this ecosystem? So whether you know it or not, every single RPC provider is either already extracting or thinking about their strategy about how to approach this with their users. And what happens is a user from a wallet signs a transaction, it hits our endpoints, and we have the opportunity to extract value from that before it actually hits the Ethereum mempool. So there's a bunch of service providers and companies being built kind of below the RPC provider section there that allows us to basically have that opportunity. And the way that I like to think about it is having that last 20%, what we can build, what kind of products we can build to have a better experience for wallets and end users at the end of the day. And I like to think about it from the Pocket perspective. Of course, we have a network that has incentivized 20,000, a little bit over 20,000 Pocket nodes and hundreds of Ethereum nodes across 20 gateways around the world. So when I think about it, I say, hey, wallets, or anyone, really, any dApp, is something like transaction propagation interesting for you, for your users? Are things like mempool services and seeing the data more quickly really interesting for you and your users? So for me, we're pretty early in our MEV journey, but we're really here to really learn from you guys and the folks that are building. So that's really what's exciting for us. And yeah, I really view Pocket's superpower as the ability for not only just us to operate these gateways, but all of you to operate these gateways and see what we can do collectively to really improve the experience for people and onboard the next billion users into Web3. So yeah, please, our stand is right over there. Please feel free to come talk to us. We'd love to hear a little bit more about your perspective on things. So thank you, everyone.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you want to take a couple of questions while we're here?
Yeah, sure.
Does anybody have a question?
No.
So I'm curious. Could you, for someone like myself, explain RPC, and the role that it plays?
Yeah, so when you load a wallet and you see your balance and you see you have like 10 ETH in your wallet, that data comes from a full node. And historically, we've had companies, normal SaaS businesses, operating these full nodes to serve that data. And what we did was build a network to do it in a decentralized fashion.